right? Because if you're like me, you're 100% hating yourself. There's a lot of things that you wish you were better at. There are a lot of things that you wish you could do. There's a lot of things that you regret doing. There's a lot of things that you kind of put a lot of pressure on yourself to do. And welcome to the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode number 136. We're gonna talk about overcoming self-hate and like little things that I do based off the suggestions that I've got from professionals, not from what I think, right? Because if you're like me, you're 100% hating yourself. There's a lot of things that you wish you were better at. There are a lot of things that you wish you could do. There's a lot of things that you regret doing. There's a lot of things that you kind of put a lot of pressure on yourself to do. And one of the perfect examples for me is working out, right? I put this lot of pressure, tons of pressure on me having to complete the program, having to do this many days per week, having to make sure I followed through the program that I've set, which is a good thing, right? There's a good thing to be able to hold yourself accountable for the things that you say you're going to do, right? But then there's a second tier to where you get psychopathic about how you feel about yourself in those situations. Perfect example, I've been following the program from Ageless Athlete, from Smitty. If you guys don't know that, let me know. I'll share the link with you. No money attached. I'll share it with you because it's such a good program for anyone over 30 years old. Honestly, I think it's great for anyone, because I believe a lot of the things that he says and goes through are the very pivotal and important pieces of strength training, lifting, and any type of working out. Honestly, fitness, it's very important, every pillar. Anyway, I was following the program and it's 4 days, right? 4 days of movement. First day is like bench, horizontal bench. Second day is a squat. Third day is a vertical. Now you can choose here or there depending on your ailments, whether you have shoulder problems or hip problems. You go into a hip overhead press or a pull, and then the last day is a hip hinge, which is like a deadlift, an RDL, or anything that involves the hip dominant. So I got the 3 days in, and then obviously it's New Year's, and in the New Year's we're having fun, we have family over, me and my brother are wrestling, we're going to jiu-jitsu, we're doing all the stuff that we can, and now I have this last day I have to complete. The last day I have to complete. And in my head, I have to get this thing done. Not thinking about all the other days that I've already worked out and completed, right? I did day 1, day 2, day 3. I ran 3 days out of the 7 days. I did jiu-jitsu 1 day. I wrestled 4 days. But now this one stupid day that's on this program, I beat myself up about all day long yesterday. And yesterday was New Year's Day, right? So like in 2024, I didn't enjoy things. I set myself on, okay, let's go work out. And then it didn't happen. And then an hour goes by and it still didn't happen. So I said, maybe I should go drink a cup of coffee and change my outfit. So I drank a cup of coffee, and then I put a hoodie on, and then I stared at the whiteboard, and I did absolutely nothing. To the point where I was beating myself up that I didn't do a good job this whole week because I didn't complete one thing. But if you think about it, I did more than I've ever done in a long time and had fun doing it. So why am I focusing on this one day where I know in my heart I'm going to do it the next day? That's the form of self-hate that I have for myself because I put this external and internal pressure on myself to be better every single time, to get things done, to complete the task. And it's, at some point you got to figure out, like, when is enough enough? And I believe in the beginning you need that mentality, you need that accountability to yourself. You need to have the structure. But if you already did, think about this, right? Out of 7 days, I've trained 6. Don't I deserve and scientifically need a day off? Yeah, I do. Sure, some other days may not have been a lifting day or a very intense day, but I still moved, right? And even in the morning, I moved, I still did my morning walk, I still did my cold bath, I still did all the stuff that I normally do. The only thing I didn't do was complete the day. I didn't complete day 4. So it took a lot of what I'm going to go through now in the steps of actually what my therapist told me is just accept, right? Accept and acknowledge that there is self-hate. So I'll go to this guy really fast to let you know the acknowledge. So step 1 is acknowledgement and awareness. Begin by acknowledging your feeling of self-hate. Recognize thoughts and patterns that contribute to these feelings. Journaling can be a helpful tool to understand your thoughts and emotions. I didn't journal, right? Maybe that would have been a great idea if I read this a little earlier, but I knew that I was aware of what was happening and I recognized the pattern that was happening. I acknowledged it. It's like, Pete, you are completely destroying yourself for no apparent reason, right? Be proud of the 6 days that you did. Be proud of completing all these other things. Be proud of that because this machine was going crazy and it's not going to stop. So I'm going to keep going through it. And the second step was developing positive affirmations. I didn't, as much as I was beating myself up that I didn't do this or do that, instead, talking with friends and family, like kind of talking it through, like, I can't believe this is how I'm reacting to what I didn't do today, you know, and they kind of listened at the same time. They agreed to, like, yeah, we all do the same thing, you know? So it's normal. And for me, having that positive affirmation, I don't want to say positive affirmation, but just a redirect affirmation, because not really, sometimes they're not positive, but even just to redirect your thought. Sometimes we feel like we say positive affirmations, we're like, I'm so handsome, and I'm so strong, and I'm so great, and the heart loves me, and Jesus is my friend. That's, wah, be real, right? A redirected affirmation may be better. Instead of saying, I'm a piece of shit for not working out today, just be like, damn, Pete, you worked out 6 days this week. You wrestled and had fun. You did jujitsu and got your ass kicked. You learned a lot. You know, those are the affirmations or the steps that I rather take than saying things like, hear that list? Saying things like, I'm happy and I'm joyful and I'm a fake motherfucker. That's what people sound like to me when there's regular affirmations. So I don't like the word positive affirmations. I believe it's a redirection of your normal thoughts, because my normal thoughts is very negative. It's self-deprecating. It hates me, right? But I have to redirect them and say, you did a great job. This is how it works. You're working out very great. You know, it's like, that's the direction I would rather go than sunshines and rainbows, because no fucking such thing as that. Sorry, guys. And then the last one is setting realistic goals. Boom. That one nailed it, right? Setting realistic goals. And that's I don't want to say my fault, but my issue is that I don't really set the goal or the pattern, or I do and I forget that I did it, right? So what is my goal for the week? Is to work out 5 days, right? And if I thought about and really looked at the goals that I have in my head, and if I had it on paper, probably easier, right? I would have looked at it and said, damn, you worked out 5 days this week, so what are you complaining about? You know what I'm trying to say? If I had something where it's like, make sure you walk every single morning, say your gratitude, and have something cold in the morning, where it's a bath, a shower, jump in the pool, or pour water in your head. I've done that. It says 7 days a week. I've done that 7 days a week. So those goals were all met. The one goal I didn't write was make sure you strength train 4 days in that week, because it really wasn't a goal for me. It really wasn't something to really nail down. For me, I just wanted to work out 5 days this week, and that was the goal. You know, but yeah, sure, I could have been a little bit more specific, but for me, the specificity of getting that goal done, of just training and doing anything to train, was accomplished. So why am I beating myself up on that? Why am I throwing so much hate at myself because of that one thing that I missed? And I feel like if you're like me and you're listening, like, this is something that we have to work on. And presently, I'm going to restructure the goal sets of what it is I need, right? And then hold myself accountable, but to a point where a normal person would hold themselves accountable, right? For me to just beat myself up every single day for doing something that I didn't do, that's not going to work. That's kind of going backwards, right? That's not going to help my mental health at all. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of myself. That's pretty much where I'm going to go with it. And maybe a little bit more specific on if that program is something that I really want to focus on, then maybe those will be the workouts instead of the other ones. So learning how to, I guess, juggle the things that you want to do and learning how to structure the things that you want to do and setting the goals for the things that you want to do are very, very important inside this journey in overcoming our self-hate, right? Or hate towards ourselves. There's tons of other things, and we talked about them in the last podcast. And if you haven't checked it out, I'm sure you can by going to the playlist that's going to come at the end. But I want to thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you next time at the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode number 136. I'll see you guys soon.